What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Leveled Up Life podcast. It's Branamier, Courtney, as always, here with Paul McClain.
My man.
In the studio. Yes, we're matching today. Don't judge us. We called each other this morning, 6 a.m. I was like, what are you wearing?
We want to hit all season two. You went long tail and short
That's
sleeve.
right.
You know what I mean? Like
white polos all around. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. All the good stuff. Listen, we got a jam-packed day today. There's a whole lot of things going on. So we're going to jump right into the podcast today. Hopefully give you a lot of value. We're going to talk about goal setting, why it's important, why it matters, and why most people really truthfully miss their goals. I know a whole lot of people who have goals around this time of the year, Paul. Yeah. And then, January, it kind of starts out really good. It's the whole analogy. It's like, man, everyone shows up at the gym. January, it's packed. But like by Valentine's Day, everyone's like, forget all that. I'm going back to, chocolates and fast food. Yeah. And so we don't want to be those people. And so we're trying to jump on the wave of momentum before the first of the year, get clarity in what direction we're going, and really try to help give people online the best possibility to actually not only set amazing goals, but to keep them for the rest of the year. And so I know this is something that's big for you. You've been crushing it this last couple of years. Longer than that, but just specifically in goal setting and starting a lot of new things, right? And there's a whole lot of momentum happening here in the Leveled Up office. So excited to pick your brain about what goal setting looks like. But really, the first one.
Well, the feeling's mutual, just because I'm going to be picking your brain, and I think a lot of times what most people don't realize is I get back into Zooms and meetings throughout the week. A lot of what I'm regurgitating is things that I picked up from you each week on this podcast. I hope that plays out for you. A lot of you guys that are watching this, you're leaders, you have influence, and hopefully you pick up something that you're like, man, I could bring this to somebody else. Because I think that for one, it's great to receive it, but man, it's great to give it. And a lot of times when you're giving it, that's where you really solidify the fact that you received it, and you can see that transformation. And in the concept of leveled up life, it really is going from like one place to the next, right? It's going from where you're at to hitting a goal. And so I think this is one of the things where our focus has been like, okay, this isn't just an end of the year thing, although we are going to address this topic at the end of the year, because for most, the New Year's Day is like a national reset. Let me go ahead and reset. Let me say, hey, I want to go after this goal. I want to be here with my family, with my fitness, with my finances, with my franchise. Like all these 5 F's are the F's that most people will set goals around, because you want to see progression in these areas of your life that do matter most. And so I think this is one of the things that, yes, we're going to talk about now, but guys, this is something that is a leveled up life concept. Is like, we should be thinking about this all the time.
That's right.
And that's how you get to the end of the year and like, oh, I like where I'm at. It's because you did the pauses and the realigning throughout the year.
Yep.
Because although we're going to set them now, and let's talk about like what that looks like to set them, you're going to, like you said, Brand, find in February that you don't feel the same way as you did in January. Yeah. And you got to be committed and disciplined long enough to actually reach that next level.
Very good. All right, so here's a momentum framework, how to catch the wave of momentum. The first thing you need to do is decide the direction. Like just pick a direction that you're going to go. It doesn't have to be a perfect plan. I think so oftentimes when we come up with our own plan, like looking back, it never works out that way.
Yeah.
Like you can have a perfect plan on paper, but then as soon as you start walking forward, things change, new stuff comes, doors close, doors open. And so I don't think you need a perfect plan. Listen, I think you need a clear direction. I was thinking about when we started the church, man. We had a direction we were going.
Yeah.
We certainly didn't have we had a plan in our minds and maybe on our heart, but it didn't work out exactly how we thought, right? But we had a direction we were going. We knew we were going to reach people. We knew we were going to minister to people. We knew we were going to be joyful and cheerful and spread the love of the God, right? We knew the direction we're going, and that was extremely clear. And then as we walked it out, the plan became, more obvious as we go, because life happens and stuff comes up. And so I think for many people, whether they're building or planning, goals for all the different 5 F's, they just got to be clear on the direction that they're headed in. So if it's weight, for example, like, okay, I'm going to get in the gym. I know that for a fact. I don't know if I'm doing the paleo diet or I don't even know all the different keto diet or all these. I don't know that yet. I'll face that opportunity, that challenge when I get there, but I do know the direction that I'm going, that I'm going to get healthier this year. I'm going to eat better this year. And so I think for many people, we get caught up in the minutia, right, and all the little small details in the beginning, as opposed to just going, no, I'm going this way, and I'm going to figure it out as I go. Talk about that. And
yeah, I mean, dude, I think even like when you're talking about the church, like you could be focused on like, what does the website look like?
Yeah, exactly.
And I remember even asking you that, dude. Like as you're talking, I remember like, well, dude, like who's designing the website? You're like, I am. I was like, you know how to do that? And I was like, almost like impressed, like, bro, you're like super spiritually talented in all these areas. Like, because like to me that's like foreign,
Yeah.
And I just, we'll just figure it out. But the reality is, like, when you're focused on the big picture, then all the other things that we get so hyper focused on, they figure themselves out, or they fall away because they weren't that important. And I think that's a great distraction, is thinking like, I got to get all this right before I take the move in the direction that's really going to get me to where I want to go. And when you go ahead and say, hey, our purpose is to impact the lives of the community and take people that are far from God and bring them close to God, like, if that's the objective, then what do? Well, we just start moving in the right direction. And all the other stuff, like the person that needs to design the website in the future, they'll show up. The worship team eventually will show up. Like it just happens. And it's the same way with business as well. Like, you sit there and think like, well, do I get an S corp or do I get a C corp? Right. Do I get an assistant?
Who's going to do my taxes next year?
How do you find VAs? What is a VA? Oh, well, how do you find a VA? Philippines, India? Like you start overthinking things opposed to like just taking massive action. And I always love that saying that I can't remember what book I read it in, but man, it's stayed with me forever. Anytime I start to find myself stuck, like over analyzing something, it's like the whole analysis by paralysis. Or paralysis by analysis. But I just start thinking like, to know and not to do is not to know. So a lot of times we try to get our knowing higher, but the knowing's only produced from the doing. The doing in the right direction. Then you start to know like, oh, then I got to do this. Oh, then I got to tweak this. But I've moved in the right direction. So I love that. Just figure out what direction, like at the end of the year, where do you want to be standing with your finances? Like, what do you want in the account? With your family, like, what do you want the values to be? What do you want the mission to be? What do you want the unity to look like? With your business, like, what are some of the things that you want it to look like? Where's the growth? Where's it at? Where's the impact? How many people on your team? How many people are you serving each week with the product that you're serving them with? Like, what does it specifically look like? What does your weight look like in December, right? Like, what is your body fat percentage? Like, look at those things and say, okay, this is where I want to go. So therefore, what's my next best move in the direction to get there? And just keep it simple.
I mean, something that you've said over and over, and it's stuck with me, and I share it often, is just like, what's your next best move? Like, I mean, so many people come to me for counseling, and I'm like, well, what's the thing that you can do today to make that situation better? And it's just stuck with me. And I think as we're talking about building momentum and moving forward, like maybe for a lot of you, it's just deciding what's the next best move right now. Stop thinking about everything that's way out there. No, what can you do today to move forward? Just decide the right direction to go and go. The second framework to build momentum is start before you feel ready. I mean, I think so many people, and we've talked about this before, it's like, man, they wait for a feeling of, okay, now I have all the information needed, now I can move forward. Or, man, I just don't feel like I'm qualified, or I don't feel like I have everything needed to do the thing. Listen, to be honest, most of us don't ever feel like we're fully ready to step into the thing. And I think, man, that's kind of like how God created us. Like, we're called to walk by faith. And I think if I always felt ready to do everything, if I felt ready to get married, I probably would never got married. Have a baby. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, you just got to figure it out as you go sometimes. And I think for people who are planning their new year and all the things they want to accomplish, maybe fight the feeling of having to feel the right way. Like, just begin to move towards the thing. And it's like you said, the whole paralysis by analysis. Well, if I have all the information, well, then I'll know exactly how to navigate it. No, you won't, because things change and life happens and stuff shows up and it's different than you thought it was going to be. And so sometimes you just got to start moving before you feel ready. Like, I don't think anyone ever feels like going to the gym. There's many Sundays I don't feel like preaching 4 services. Like, there's sometimes where I don't feel like playing with my kids after a long, hard day, but I don't live by my feelings. I live by what I'm called to do. And so you just gotta do it, even if you don't feel like it. And I think so many people get stuck because, man, they're just, I'm in a bad mood, or I'm tired, or whatever it is. No, start before you feel ready. Go after it.
Yeah, it's like that one concept of like, fake it till you make it. Like, I like the faith it till you make it.
Very good.
Right? Like, and even on my wristband, it says faith over feelings.
Love that.
Just because I need to be reminded that, like, I live by faith, not by feelings, because feelings are fleeting. They're here and they're gone. But like, a lot of times, like, if you just ask yourself, how am I going to feel an hour from now? Well, then you're like, well, shoot, I would feel pretty mad that I did that thing and I didn't do that thing. Right? It's like an alarm clock, goes off in the morning. You're like, I feel like rolling over and hitting it. But in an hour, how would you feel? You're like, man, I wish I would have hit it. Well, then do that thing. Because that's the thing you need to do.
Very good.
And I think it builds momentum, right? And so, like, momentum is one of those things where it makes you look twice as good as you actually are when you have it.
Yeah.
And it makes you look half as good as you actually are if you don't have it. And so like momentum is built from like consistent activity and just faith in it, not going off of feelings, not feeling like, okay, well, I've arrived. I'm doing better than I thought, so let me step back. Or, man, this isn't working, so let me step back. No. I'm just going to continue to commit to the thing that I need to do. Momentum shows up, and then don't lose it. Just keep it moving because it's going to be an enhancer on everything that you've got going on.
Very good. Love it. Number 3, as far as the framework to build momentum, shrink the goal. Shrink the goal. And so sometimes I think we don't accomplish it or go after it because we make it, and then it's like, that's so big and so outlandish, and I just don't know how I'm going to do it. Well, listen, you got to shrink it down into small daily disciplines. I was told the story before, but like when I was younger, my dad would take me on these estimates as far as how to go, bid projects and stuff, and he would walk around. I remember going to this one place, and it was massive, and it was all kinds of different places we had to clean, and my dad looked at me. I was probably like 8 or 9. He's like, Brent, how do you think we're going to clean this? And I was like, I have no idea. Like, we don't have the staff to do it. Like, we don't have the people. He's like, we're going to clean it one toilet at a time, son. One toilet at a time. And I was like, good. It's the whole like, how do you eat an elephant? Just one bite at a time. You got to shrink the goal down. It's like, what can I do today to accomplish this massive goal that's set before me? We're not going to accomplish it tomorrow. You're going to accomplish it one day at a time. So you got to break it down into small daily steps, small daily disciplines, and that's how you win, right? Just get clear and consistent on what the goal is.
Yeah, one quote I'd add to that for all those that take notes, all the winners on here, is Maxwell says, success doesn't happen in a day, but success happens daily. And so like that's one of those things where you just realize like, hey, can I just win today? And not look at like how much further I have to go and judge how much longer I got to still go through this process based off how I feel today. Because maybe you feel today exhausted. Like, man, how can I continue? Well, God will give you the right strength, the right grace, the right mercy tomorrow. So don't judge the rest of the next year based off how you feel in a day and think like, there's no way I could go to the gym for next year. I feel so terrible now, or there's no way I could eat this diet, like this is gross. No, discipline will eventually change your palate. It'll eventually change, what is familiar to you and what becomes your new normal, and then it's not as bad, but you don't see that in the moment. You just focus on the feeling.
Very good. Number 4, build a system. Listen, if success depends on willpower, it won't last. Systems make your progress automatic, and we could do a whole podcast or whole series on systems and routines, but listen, you got to have routines. You can't just live and wake up and go, maybe I will, maybe I won't. No, you have to have systems and habits. Like you talked about putting the phone on the other side of the room, putting a water bottle there. Like these are just small little systems that you can do right now, like tomorrow morning, that will help you reach your goals. And so whether it's, creating a morning routine, going through the pavers like we've talked about, whether it's weekly systems, monthly systems, like you got to create things in your life that keep you on track, because if not, man, you begin to wander and you'll begin to be so far off track. And then I think that's what happens February, March, April. It's like, man, I'm so far off. There's no point in me even going back. But if you have something that would just every day just keep you accountable, whether it's, the discipline journal app that we have on our phone that just gives that little reminder, like, hey, you got to read today. Hey, you got to say what you're grateful for today. It's these little things that make goal setting and tracking your system or tracking your progress just automatic. So build a system.
Yeah, it's like what James Clear says, you don't rise to your goals, you fall to your systems. And so like it's the systems that lead to your actual goal. And just asking yourself like, what's a system I can put in place that's going to stack the deck for me to really do the thing I need to do, right? And then it doesn't have to be 100 systems, but maybe just one simple system of just getting into the office, because that's a cornerstone habit that allows you to do all these other things and remove distractions or what have you. So I love that. Number 5 is this, and maybe we'll wrap up here. We'll see if we get to 6, but track the win. This is so important because I feel like a lot of times you can get fatigued because you're looking just to get to the end of the year goal, and so you're not really celebrating the fact that you had some progression. You're not going to get perfect, but putting some of these small wins underneath your belt are so important. That's why I believe even like a great goal that somebody could have that just allows you to stack a win underneath your belt is like just making your bed in the morning. Like just that, because now you feel like I've started the day with a win, and psychologically it starts to put you in this mindset of I'm just a winner. I do the things that winners do. And so looking at just progression, you know what I mean? And I think activity goals is where it starts, to say like, I just have to do this today. I'm not going to look at the result. I'm going to just focus on doing the thing that I could do, which is watering the seed, nurturing the seed, doing the thing, and the fruit will eventually come. And when it starts to come, even if it's not the full fruit tree, if you got one piece of fruit that shows, man, celebrate that. Like, I got to win. This is going in the right direction. Like, I am the type of person that I said I was going to be. I am the leveled up version of myself in these different areas. Look, I've got evidence now to support it. So don't overlook the small evidence thinking that you got to get to the end result and that goal. Man, let that small evidence be something that you look at, you celebrate, that way you continue to get the right dopamine to move forward until the end of the goal actually happens.
Love it. You can grow one piece of fruit, you can grow 1,000 pieces of fruit.
That's right.
So one policy, you can sell 1,000 policies. Come on, you do one thing good one time, you could do it over and over and over again. So confidence, consistency builds confidence. And so track the wins. The small daily wins will build your confidence to move forward into the new year. So hope this helps. Love you guys.
Yeah, wait. Last thing is this. I think we get number 6.
You want to get it?
This is essential because it's going to be painful in the process to get to your next level. But if you're so focused on the pain, you're going to give up. But if you can focus on the payoff, the why you're doing this thing, how that next level version of you is going to feel, and really taking it on and embodying that, like, man, when your family's great, the relationship's great, your fitness is feeling good, your energy is there, your finances are getting right, like how you're going to feel, then all of a sudden the pain becomes a part of the process, and what's produced is purpose through it. So now it's like I'm focused on the payoff, not the pain. And so if you're focused on the payoff, the pain doesn't affect you nearly as much. And in fact, through that lens, the pain will become purpose. And so really focusing on what does it look like, what does it feel like to be that next level version you, and anchoring that in your why. So when the things that come to try to push you back to the old you, they can't, because you're so anchored with this bag of reasons that they can't blow you off course.
So good. I love it. Yeah. I'm just thinking about a boat drifting out in the lake, and you have a massive anchor sitting on the bottom of the floor. And it's like, man, the wind's coming, the waves coming. It's trying to move me away, but I'm anchored to the ground. And so you got to anchor your why, whether it's your kids, whether that's your community, the people you love, the people you serve. You got to anchor your why, and that will be the thing that keeps you grounded to move forward. So,
man, so good. Thank you, bro. You gave me some stuff for the whole week to be able to pour into people. So hopefully you feel the same way. If you do, make sure to like, to subscribe, share this. If you want to make a difference in somebody else's life, maybe they're one podcast away to kind of really getting their mind right going into 2026. And we do believe that there's many different times in people's lives where it's that 1 year that changes the whole trajectory of their life. It's not 50 years, it's not 20 consecutive years, it's just 1 year where all of a sudden great breakthrough happens, and they're never left the same for the rest of their life. They're forever different because they made some real commitments, real decisions. They stuck to them in that 1 year, and we believe that this year, 2026, will be the year for you. So guys, we love you. Be strong, stay steadfast, and we'll talk next week. God bless you guys.